When I want to see the properties or be able to make property changes on any individual item, I use the Properties palette. For example, here I have a dimension. If I wanted to edit or change that particular dimension, I could select it, right-click, go to Properties, and I get my Properties palette. Another way is just to go to any object, double-click on it, and it will open the Properties palette, and it tells me what kind of object I'm looking at. Here it's a radial dimension. I have these drop-down lists that can be expanded or collapsed. There'll be general information, miscellaneous, and then there'll be information specific to the type of object I'm looking at. Because this is a dimension, it's going to have information about lines and arrows, text, fit, and I do have a scroll bar to look through the rest. Primary units, these are all properties that go with dimensions. My Object Properties palette can stay open. It has a number of ways that I can attach it or set it to auto hide. And even if I don't have an object chosen, you know that it shows me that I have no selection. It has its own set of properties, and I can anchor it left, for example, and now it's anchored on the left side of my drawing area. When I go over on top of it, it'll pop open. I can tell it not to auto hide, and now it'll stay open. So we have a number of ways that we can keep it at our fingertips. So let's look at an example of how we could use our Object Property palette in editing a particular property of an object. Here I need to add a dimension. There is a radius here that needs to be dimensioned, so I'm going to change and make sure I'm on the dimension layer. I'm going to go to my dimensioning tools, and I need to add a radius. So I'm going to come in here and I want to add a radius, that object right there. But one of the problems that I notice is that because of a center line that's put in by that dimension, it covers up part of my section cutting plane. So I don't want the center marks or center line that's created by that dimension. So I'm going to double click on that dimension and open up its properties. Down here under lines and arrows, I can see that the center mark is a center line, and that was the property of the dimension style that created it. In this one instance, I would like to have no center lines. So I'm able to, on that particular dimension, suppress the center lines, and now it doesn't interfere with my cutting plane line anymore. I'm going to close that. So that's one way that I can use my palette to actually edit individual features or properties of a particular item. Now I can choose more than one item, so I'm going to choose everything in the drawing. And now I'm going to look at the properties, and it says that I've found 105 items. Now if I need to change the properties on something particular in this drawing, I can go down here and I can see how it's sorted out. I have 70 lines, I have 2 polylines. So going down, I have 2 hatches. So if I wanted to work specifically with the hatches, it's now found all of the hatches for me, and it tells me that they're by layer and what layer they're on. These boxes can be edited in a variety of ways. Some of them will have a drop-down menu. Some of them will have, I have to fill in the information. In this case, we're going to change our hatch to green. And I'm going to close that. And as you can see, the hatched items that were in the drawing were found and those properties were changed.